Hey there, YouTube family. This tutorial is going to be a really quick overview of using an if statement. If statements are an awesome function in Excel to allow us to take certain actions based on a logical test set of criteria. In my document here, I'm going to see if my integrations are performing as I had hoped for the first half of the year. And I'm going to do that by using column K to see if the goal was met. So I have my year-to-date total and I have my year-to-date goal. So what I'm going to do to determine if the goal was met is create a crafty little if statement. And this if statement we create like any other formula. We type the equal sign. If we type the word if, you'll see this little IntelliSense pop-up menu. And we want the first one. And we take an opening parenthesis, and you're going to see the three parameters here. The first one is our logical test, and then the next two are going to be the value if the condition is true, and the value if the condition is met. So our test here is my year-to-date sales greater than or equal to my year-to-date goal? And if it is, that I want to display a friendly message. So after I choose my logical test criteria, I'm going to put down a comma and I'm going to type in good job. And that's going to be inside of quotation marks because that is text, and whenever you're dealing with strings of text and character values, you're going to want to encapsulate them inside of quotation marks. The next parameter is going to be the message to display if the goal wasn't met. Same thing inside of quotation marks, and I'm going to type do better and close the quotation marks and close the parentheses to close that function. When I hit enter, you're going to see the message do better because my year-to-date of 14,700 is not equal to the year-to-date goal of 15,000. Now, with an if statement, they can be simple and have just one set of criteria like I have here, but there's times where you may want to nest if statements with multiple sets of criteria. So in the case of my company, what I want to do is encourage folks who are close to meeting their performance goal with a different message than do better. So I'm going to improve this if statement by showing you that you can put if statements inside of if statements. So in my scenario here is if you've met the condition, I want the good job piece to still stay there. But if the condition wasn't met, I want to do another logical test. I want to see here if my year-to-date amount is within $500 of the year-to-date goal. So if my year-to-date amount is greater than or equal to my year-to-date goal minus 500, then I want to put a different message that says almost there. So my else criteria will run a second if statement for the first if statement. So you see the nesting. And if this criteria isn't met, I then want to revert back to that message that says do better. So the else condition here will say do better now. Now note, when I close this parenthesis, you see that they will color code accordingly to the pair they belong to. Make sure that you have the proper number of closing parentheses as you do opening parentheses, and pay close attention to that color coding. So here, if we read this if block, the first criteria says if H5 is greater than or equal to J5, display the message, good job. Else, check another if condition. that says if H5 is greater than or equal to J5 minus 500, you're almost there, else do better. So that's what you see as a nested if statement. And now in this case, we see that my year-to-date amount is almost to the year-to-date goal. It's only off by $300. And if we now copy this down, we can see how we're performing across the board. So you see that some are good job because we've exceeded or met the goal. 23,000 is above 20,000. 14.9 is close within 500 of 15, so we're almost there. And then these do better ones. My goal was 10,000. I've only gotten 3,000. So you see all three criteria being met there. And I'll look at the if block just one more time so you can see it. Again, this is a nested if block with two sets of logical tests inside of each other. I hope you found this explanation valuable. Feel free to comment below. Be sure to subscribe if you have not already. And if you have any questions, you can place them in the comments as well, or you can reach out to me directly on my website, professorwolfe.com.